And now please welcome Reverend Johnny Peden.
Well, thank you for inviting me to be here today. I appreciate it. I tell you, what a beautiful church this is. The sanctuary, the grounds. I had no idea there was so much property here. This is a beautiful church. You should be very proud of it. I am. Yeah, you are too. Thank you for the invite to be with you today. And before I start, I just want to mention that we have a mutual friend who sends his regards, Rabbi Dan King, who has spoken here before. Y'all know Dan, and he's a good fellow. I got to know him when we co-officiated a wedding, of all things, a Jewish Christian wedding. The bride was Christian, the groom was Jewish, and they wanted a rabbi to be part of their wedding, so they invited Dan and me to co-officiate their wedding. You all know Dan, right? Yeah, he's a good fellow. There is so much I could speak on today, but I'll keep it short, under a couple of hours or so. After all, there's a football game today, so I've heard. But I greatly appreciate the opportunity to be with you all today and to speak for just a few minutes. I do want to speak on the vows, and that is VOWS. Not VOWELS. It is amazing how many people contact me and say they don't want to do their personal vows. I feel like saying, well, what are you going to do with your consonants? Okay, that was a bad joke, I guess. Speaking of bad jokes, I just wonder, did you get your doctorate? Yeah, you. Oh, if you did, you'd be Dr. Pepper. Oh, shame on me, huh? Yeah, right. I am speaking on the vows. While many and most of us are familiar with the traditional marriage vows, there are several others that are also important. Vows to friends, vows to country, vows to church, vows to family. The original wedding vows come from the Book of Common Prayer. And do you know what? It required the bride and only the bride to obey. Isn't that a kick? It didn't require the grooms to obey the wives, but for the bride to obey the husband. Well, thank goodness we have made some progress. The Book of Common Prayer dates back to 1549, but it isn't the first place that these vows can be found. In fact, they date back to the Sarum rite, which was used in medieval England. Did you know that the traditional wedding vows are not in the Bible? They came much later, as I mentioned, 1549. Also, there is not a wedding ceremony in the Bible, per se, as we know it. But vows are so important. Vows to our friends, to our country, to our church, and to our families. This is a very important time of the year, the Christmas season, as some might call it. A time when we can feed the hungry, comfort the afflicted, love the outcast, forgive the wrongdoer, inspire the hopeless. And speaking of hopeless, there may be some other former Southern Baptists who feel somewhat hopeless. I don't know if you saw this article in the Houston Chronicle a few months ago. Southern Baptists purge female pastors. There it is. And you know what? I saw that and I thought, what an opportunity. What an opportunity to reach out to these people, these women, in love, with open arms, and to know that they are welcome here in the Unitarian Church. Southern Baptists purge female pastors. Well, they purged me too when I was outed many years ago on church staff. But that's okay. I look at it as their loss, not mine. I'm glad I'm not a Southern Baptist anymore, and I'm a proud Unitarian. I'm an active member of the Bay Area Unitarian Universalist Church down in Clear Lake. We have a wonderful congregation there too, just as you do. But we need to make vows to our friends. What is a vow? A commitment, a covenant, a promise to our friends, to our country, regardless of where we are on the political spectrum, to the left, to the right, in the middle. We need to make a vow to our country. This is our country. And I don't say love it or leave it. I say love it. Love it and make it better. Make a vow to it. A vow to the church. And you're practicing your vow, your covenant, your promise to this church by being here today and by offering your tithes and your time. Your covenant, your promise to the church. But with this being the holiday season, I'm thinking especially of families. Families who don't have a family. Men and women who have been outcast by their families. They don't have a place to go on Christmas Day or Thanksgiving or any other time of the year. But they can come here. All are welcome. I would encourage you to open your doors, open your hearts to the families in the community out here in Spring Branch. I got here early this morning and went to lunch at Barnaby's over here on Long Point. I was just driving around looking for a place to eat, and I knew Barnaby's because I've gone to the one in Montrose and the one in the Heights. But lo and behold, they had the Outsmart publication, and this is a gay publication. And here in Spring Branch, oh my goodness gracious, you know. I encourage you to get to know the owner, Jeff Gale, Gayle, Jeff Gale. Jeff owns all of the Barnabys, and I bet it would be a great opportunity to partner with him to have some events at his restaurant out here in Spring Branch, or to have them catered here. I don't know if they do catering or not, but still an opportunity to involve him in your church by being involved in the community right here in your back door. There are so many opportunities around us. I'm not a believer of just opening the doors and hoping somebody shows up. I believe in going to the people, going and meeting people at their point of need. And Spring Branch is no different than any other part of the world. There are people in need. And we have a great church to offer them, great service to offer them. And I would encourage you, especially during the holiday season, to open your hearts, open your doors to those who do not have a family to go to. Be their family. Practice those vows. Open up your hearts, and may God be with you. Amen. Thank you.